All right, welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that's absolutely transforming universities everywhere: artificial intelligence. We're going to explore how these incredibly powerful new tools can become your ultimate academic partner, helping you with, well, pretty much everything from research all the way to writing. Look, we've all been there, right? You're buried under this massive mountain of journal articles, just struggling to find a clear path forward. Or maybe you're just staring at that dreaded blinking cursor on a blank page with no idea how to even begin your literature review. It can be completely overwhelming. But what if it didn't have to be like that? Just imagine, what if you had a co-pilot for your academic journey? Now, I'm not talking about something that yanks the controls out of your hands. Think of it more like an intelligent assistant that helps you navigate the turbulence, find your direction, and ultimately get to where you're going faster and with a whole lot more confidence. So, what does it actually mean to have an AI co-pilot? This isn't some magic black box that's going to do the work for you. No, it's about a real, fundamental shift in how you work. It's about seeing AI as a partner, an assistant, and yeah, even a collaborator in your research. You know, there is a formal term for this idea. It's called intelligence augmentation. A really important report from the U.S. Department of Education defines it as a human-centered partnership. The key word there is partnership. The focus isn't on replacing us, but on working together with AI to make us better thinkers. So how does this co-pilot actually help in the real world? Let's start with the research phase. Honestly, this is where AI can be a total game changer, saving you an incredible amount of time and effort by acting as a true super assistant. I mean, just think about the old way of doing things. Hours and hours of just endlessly scrolling on Google Scholar, kind of hoping you stumble on the right paper. Now, compare that with the new way: focused, smart discovery. You can go from spending weeks searching for answers to getting research-backed summaries in minutes. You can literally map the entire research landscape so you don't miss that one crucial study. A systematic workflow makes all the difference. So here's a powerful three-step process you can use with free tools. First, you discover the most important papers with something like Semantic Scholar. Then, you synthesize what you found by asking a tool like Consensus direct questions. And finally, you explore the connections between all those papers with ResearchRabbit, which, and this is so cool, creates a visual map of the entire academic conversation for you. And hey, it's not just for finding papers. As Professor David Stuckler points out, if you're working with data, AI can be an absolute lifesaver. Let's say you need to figure out the right algorithm to filter a huge data set in R or Excel. Instead of digging through forums for hours, you can just ask. It saves you from so much tedious manual work. Okay, so you've got your research. Now let's see how this co-pilot helps you move from that phase into actual writing. This is where it can really become your ultimate writing partner, helping you beat that blank page and build a solid, coherent draft. Just think about the whole writing process. AI can help you brainstorm a topic that actually fills a real gap in your field. It can generate a structured outline to guide your writing. It can act as a super-powered editor, kind of like Grammarly on steroids, checking your grammar, clarity, and flow. And it can even give you a simulated peer review, pointing out potential weaknesses before anyone else ever sees it. And that gets to one of the core strengths of these tools. As Professor Stuckler says, AI just excels at creating structure and order. You know, an outline is your roadmap. Without one, you're basically just driving in the dark, hoping you end up in the right place. AI can give you that map so you can focus on the important part, the journey of filling it in with your own critical thinking. Okay, so far we've seen all the amazing promise of AI. But now we have to talk about the peril, because with all this power comes a whole host of really complex ethical questions that we absolutely cannot ignore. This is where the human has to stay in the loop. And it all starts with this one fundamental question. If an AI generates a paragraph, or an outline, or even just a single sentence, who's the real author? Is it you? The machine? Both? This is where things get really complicated.
These are really the core issues. AI blurs the lines of authorship because its output is fundamentally derivative. It's just recombining patterns from the massive amounts of data it was trained on. It doesn't create in the human sense. And that raises huge concerns about devaluing human creativity. And it throws our entire legal system around copyright, which assumes a human author, into a state of total chaos.
The Department of Education really highlights two critical balancing acts here. First, how do we keep the teacher in control without just reflexively resisting helpful tech? And second, how do we make sure AI is providing customized help without becoming a tool for surveillance? Every single new tool has to find its place somewhere on these spectrums. So what's the answer? Well, their number one recommendation is this: center the students and the teachers. Keep humans firmly in the loop. This means we have to evaluate these AI tools based on a whole bunch of criteria. Things like privacy, fairness, transparency, and effectiveness, all while making sure a human is the one making the final call. So this brings us to what might be the most important part: practice. How do we actually use these tools in a way that's both powerful and responsible? Here's a practical guide for putting that human-in-the-loop principle into action.
It all comes down to what I call the co-pilot rule. Do use AI to refine your topics, create outlines, and get editing feedback. But don't let it fly solo. Never, ever let it write your full paper or generate your references. And that last one is a huge deal. AI is famous for hallucinating sources that sound real, but just don't exist. You have to remember, the core thinking must always, always be yours.
And when you're choosing a tool to use, here is a quick checklist. You should be asking these questions. Are they transparent about their training data? Does the tool make it easy to disclose that you used it? What are they actually doing to reduce bias? And maybe most importantly, is your data safe? This isn't just about what the tool can do. It's about making an informed, ethical choice. At the end of the day, as one AI developer put it so well, these tools are neither good nor bad on their own. The technology itself is neutral. Its impact, its value, that all comes down to us. It depends entirely on the choices we make as users, as educators, and as developers. And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway. AI can be an absolutely incredible co-pilot, helping you navigate the complex, often turbulent skies of academia. But it is never, ever the pilot. That seat belongs to you. So the only question left is, are you ready to take the controls?